Never been saved, but I've never come closer. Another year down and another year older. A million fresh starts, what I needed was closure. Yeah, I lost who I was, but I found my composure. Yeah, when I found you, I found me. Nothing around far as I could see. You were the current that carried me. When I found you, I found me. Lost in the sand, only you can read. My SOS, yeah, you rescued me. When I found you, I found me. Lost in the sand, only you can read. My SOS, yeah, you rescued me. One hot song started up in my dosage. We're way too young to be feeling this hopeless. You were my light in this endless ocean. Yeah, feeling alive even just for this moment. Yeah, when I found you, I found me. Nothing around far as I could see. You were the current that carried me. When I found you, I found me. Lost in the sand, only you can read. My SOS, yeah, you rescued me. When I found you, I found me. Lost in the sand, only you can read. My SOS, yeah, you rescued me. When I found you, I found me. Nothing around far as I could see. You were the current that carried me. When I found you, I found me. Lost in the sand, only you can read. My SOS.
Alrighty, welcome everybody to the Fantasy Golf Bag live stream. Let me cut this music real fast. Oh, I'm sporting a new hat thanks to someone in chat. I can't say. Apparently this is like a very important hat, top secret or something. I don't know. So you know who you are. Thank you for the hat. He got mad on Wednesday because I didn't wear it, so I decided to wear it tonight. So yeah, man. Skylar, I see you in there. I appreciate it, man. CH Dallas, DK Drafter, Notorious is back. What's going on, guys? So, of course, we are going to talk through some Sunday Showdown. Of course, we'll hit the raid at the end. Looking forward to that. I think the last one went over pretty well. It's pretty funny. And we'll try to find someone that's not a follower-only chat and then try to hit it. WM Coach, thanks, man. So yeah, we'll get right into it, I guess. We'll look through the lobby a little bit. I wanted to bring that up with the time that we do have. Of course, we do have all the live stats for the Open. And I wanted to make it a point to kind of touch on that for just a minute. I don't know if you guys, if you're already a member, then you've already heard this. But there's a lot of very incorrect stats floating around right now. So we kind of made it a point that these people are using incorrect stats for Showdown. It's not going to help you very much. I mean, it's going to be detrimental, obviously. So we had a little promo. It's $1.99. You can sign up for a day, and you get access to all of our stats. The code was OpenStats19, I think. So you can definitely check that out. I'm going to walk you through the stats, but of course, if you sign up, you get access to these. And as far as we know, no one else has the correct stats that we could find. Besides the Open Championship website, which you could look at if you just wanted to look at stuff. But we have it all compiled, ready to go. And the normal live strokes gained dashboard that's free, and the custom model has the Barbasol Championship. So if you guys want to do that, I actually did a lineup earlier because I figured not many people are paying attention. The contests aren't that big, but certainly worth throwing a couple lineups in there if people don't have it. So let's hop over here. What a bargain. That's right, man. Trying to make bargains around here. For one day, I figured people could use the stats to their benefit, hopefully. So let's see. All right, let's just look at the lobby for just a quick second. So obviously we have round 4, late round 4, and the Barbasol Championship. Like I said, the Barbasol Championship's got a ton of really small contests, so you can keep that in the back of your head. I mean, you probably should just focus on the Open. That's what we're going to focus on this show, but did want to point that out. There's round 4, and we do have stats for the Barbasol Championship. It's a brutal leaderboard, though. I mean, guys are gaining 3 strokes like back-to-back rounds putting. Good luck with that. But for round 4, and then I'll look at late round 4. So you got the $5, obviously. I think it's $50K to first. Yep. Almost full. 36,000 entrants already. So almost full. $33 dog leg. A long way to go. It'll fill, but still a long way to go. You can hop in that one. And that's a pretty good structure. 1,500 to first, second 1,000, down pays out to 109th place, $50. So pretty good structure there. In a couple $20 3 max, not awful. As far as singles go, just to touch on that real fast, the lowest one is that $12, 40 of 245 right now. To $12. So there's a 735 it's about to full, but I would encourage you to probably hop in that second one. Obviously a smaller field and probably a little bit softer if everyone just dumped their money in the first one they saw. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I think late round 4 is a little bit smaller, but you could probably grab the 10,600 entry fee for play for 30,000 if you want some action. Just kidding, guys. The 5K to first, $5. Decent structure. I mean, it's definitely top heavy, but if you want to throw in a couple late ones, only $5. And then if your AM lineups suck, you could stack the PM and go nuts. So let's hop over to the stats, and we'll try to take some questions, and we'll try to walk through the field the best we can. So let me get that going for us, and I'll try to monitor chat. Orange Man, it's a pretty good chance. I mean, one of 3 guys is going to win it, and you got a 33% chance of winning 30,000. You just got to put up 10K. So I'll probably pass this week. I mean, it's certainly tempting, but yeah, let's just build it up. Let's build the bankroll back up to 2 million or 1.5, and then we can start plugging in these 10Ks like Empire Maker. Unreal. There's actually, you guys, I don't know how many play different sports, but there's a MLB guy who I think he just plays a single lineup every day. He might be starting to get into mass multi-entry stuff. He should. I mean, his bankroll is big enough. But I picked him up. I didn't pick any of his games up, but I looked through a lot of the big dollar stuff he was playing in. It might have been like Monday or Tuesday this week. And there's $10,000 tournaments, $5,000 tournaments, $20,000 tournaments, like entry fees. And he was in every single one of them. I mean, he must have been in for like $300,000 in entry fees. Unreal. I mean, you imagine if you guys are, I mean, he's obviously a pro, and he's going through the, managing his bankroll somewhat well. If you're putting in, just say $250,000, your bankroll must be huge for DFS. So we're not there yet. But Orange Man, if I get there, I'll let you know. So yeah, let me know if this is too small. Obviously, again, if you're a member, you have access to these stats. If you're not a member, it's only $1.99 for this 1 day period to get all these stats, and you'll have a big edge up on the competition that you're playing against tomorrow. So we'll try to hit a couple of these. I'm not going to go through every single guy. It's only 60 some guys that are really realistically in play. Probably 50 guys realistically in play for the full slate. If you're trying to get some AM guys. I don't have the weather pulled up, but we can look at that. From what I saw, AM, guys teeing off early AM, obviously you're giving up placement points right off the bat, but they do have much better weather for a longer period of time than the guys teeing off around the lead. So, if you're trying to be different in that big GPP, that's probably something to consider. Most people, every single week, man, they stack the leaderboard. Like, they'll stack the top 6, top 10. They'll stack 6 of the top 10-ish. And tomorrow there might be an opportunity to, try to get. I certainly wouldn't stack the AM. That's probably poor advice. But I would try to get maybe 2 or 3 one-offs in the AM. If they go off and shoot, 4 or 5 under par, and the rest of the guys struggle, you might get enough placement points from guys you played late, and it might work out. So we'll pull up the weather here at the end before we do this raid. But yeah, we can go ahead and dive into this stuff. If you do have questions, pop them in there, and I will happily take a look. So what I would like to do, obviously, this is a different format than what you see normally on the website with the different breakouts of scoring, strokes gained, and not tee to green, traditional stats. So what I was doing, looking through this, obviously we have the DK salary and the FD salary, so you could sort by highest to lowest, or it's already pre-sorted by place, which is an easy way to go down the list and just pick out guys you like to add to your pool, and then you can walk back up the list and figure out who do you want to cut. My biggest thing, kind of looking through guys that have been consistent over rounds with the green regulation. Now, guys that are missing a couple greens just off, they're not going to be accounted for, obviously, in the green regulation. But if you look through like a Shane Lowry, 90% round 1, he dropped to 67% round 2, and then back up to 95% in round 3. You see a consistency there. Obviously, there's a little bit of weather effect on round 1 and round 2, but I'd really be looking for guys that hit a ton of greens today. That would be my first kind of key, guys that missed a ton of greens. I would be trying to avoid, even if they could bounce back, it wouldn't be a spot that I would be trying to hit. Most of these guys are probably priced up if they did have a bad day. So you can see, let's just take a Dylan Fratelli. So Dylan Fratelli, round 2 and round 3, 55% green regulation round 2, 67% round 3. Like, it's a bump up, obviously, but it's still not good compared to the leaders and probably the field average. And he's already at 8K. So you could definitely get some of these guys that had a bad day. They'll be more expensive. They're easy avoids for me. And then some of the cheaper guys that had good days, they'll be moving up the leaderboard a little bit. So keep an eye out for that for sure. Most of these guys at the very top didn't move. So I assume from an ownership perspective, Shane Lowry, Fleetwood, someone brought it up in our chat talking about him being 100% owned. I don't know if he'll be, over 50% owned. I think Shane Lowry will probably be, 30-ish%, and Fleetwood probably be around the same, to be honest, because people still think about ownership to a degree. I wouldn't overthink that too much, but certainly these two guys are definitely in play. They've been playing the most consistent. Looking at putting, they've been putting well on those surfaces. Green regulation numbers look good. Driving accuracy, Shane Lowry drove it terrible today, so you guys might take a stand on that. If he drives it poorly, maybe he doesn't get the same good breaks and falls back. For me, I'm probably not going to play Shane Lowry. I think he'll be over-owned, and there's a risk that he's not going to play well under the pressure, so I'll probably just be Xing him out, but he's obviously been playing great. Yeah, Lowry, lucky. Yeah, I see Papa Wolf. I don't know if I talked on the weather before you put that in there. I apologize if you did, or if I did. But we can look at the weather at the end of this kind of segment. Spieth. So I see someone in chat asking about Spieth. Yeah. I mean, he continues to, like, what are his round-to-round scores? So 70, 67, 69. I mean, to a point with him, driving accuracy apparently isn't a big deal. He's still hitting enough greens. He's putting lights out, so that's a knock for me. And he's 9,100, so statistically speaking, nothing good. And then, like, Horse Player, I don't know if he's in the chat. You know, he likes to talk about using extended stats that you were using for guys, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday as you were making your full week teams. And Spieth probably was either just a GPP play because of his history at the British Open. Statistically, it hasn't been good. So we're seeing more of the same with Spieth. 9,100 for me, I probably wouldn't waste my salary on that. I guess he would be low owned. I mean, you could take that angle. But for me, 9,100, I want to see some of these guys that are driving it poorly. We talk about Lowry today getting lucky. Like, I want to see him go the other direction. Even though it's a British Open, you still got to drive it and play, man. So, touch on Park, Sang-Yoon Park, whatever his name is. I'm pretty sure there's an LPGA girl by the same exact name. I'm pretty sure. I'm actually going to look it up on this computer. Because I was thinking about that earlier. What's the name? Sang-Hyun Park. No, that's a guy. But LPGA. Sung-Hyun Park. So there's Sung-Hyun Park for the girl. It's Sang-Hyun Park for the boy. So Sang and Sung. Apparently that's a gender identifier. Sang and Sung. We can look at Park though for you, pop off. Let's see. So I wish the headers would freeze. I don't know if we can freeze it in this. I might have to pop it out. But let's see. You guys can see it down here. Round 1, round 2, round 3 driving accuracy, but pretty bad. I mean, a little better than Spieth, a lot better than Spieth. And then green and regulation kind of been down since round 1. Making a lot of putts. So his putts per green regulation look pretty good. I don't know, man. 6,100 is worth salary saving if you want to get up there, but I'll be passing. Dude, Skylar, I just remember Yun and Park, and it was a Sang or a Sung, so I don't know. Tom Lewis. Let's see if I can fit it down here. Yeah, this is going to be tough. I'm pretty sure this doesn't allow me to freeze the web version. It doesn't, so that's my bad. But what we can do is I'm just going to filter. Of course I'm interacting with this workbook. This is fun. Skylar, what are we doing? Just kidding, man. All right, Tom Lewis. Yeah, looking really good. Really good. Yeah, round 1 was his worst round. Drove it bad. Green regulation has been bad. If I'm not mistaken, I mean, he's been playing pretty bad for a while. Not putting very well, but that's arguably a good sign, I guess. You could say he's hitting it well enough that'd be carried over to tomorrow. Maybe he can make a few extra putts. But yeah, 89% green regulation round 2, 83% round 3, and driving accuracy has been over 70% the last 2 rounds. So we can look at his birdie or better number, 22%, and bogey avoidance round 2 and round 3 has been good. So yeah, Tom Lewis is interesting. Man, that round 1 score, he'd probably be close to getting in contention. I mean, he would be shouting distance, so. No, Orange Man, so we put a post up that says the open live stats, And in that, there's a link. It just goes to the Fantasy Jesus stats. So he put it there. He also put on the Euro rolling stats. So if you have a Euro membership for all of our Euro stats and content, you could go to the Euro rolling stats and get it. Or if you go to the normal Fantasy Jesus rolling stats, it's on there. You should be able to find it. Yep. I'm fading. I'm probably talking down. All right, let's take a peek though at a couple guys. So what we can do, let me clear this. So today, round 3. So these are the guys that were above average for round 3 green regulation. I'll sort it by. Yeah, Lewis is good. We can look at Lingasque as well. All right, so this is what we got. So Brooks still striking it well, putting just awful today, didn't make anything. Fleetwood Rahm. So Rahm's actually kind of trending the right direction. He's 10,000, so you're kind of got to make a decision here unless you go so cheap as to a Sang Young or Sung Hyun, the boy version of the Parks. And yeah, like I said, I think I'm just going to avoid Shane Lowry. I mean, in an event like this, I think placement points are pretty valuable because I don't see you making a ton of birdies. Now, he did make a lot of birdies today, which is huge for Showdown. But again, in the weather that we're seeing for tomorrow, in the lead, I think it'd be an awesome story for him to win. But there's so much riding on him playing well, teeing off last, home country, man. Like, I don't know. I would try to spend up above Lowry to one of these guys. Let's see. We also have in the stats, you have the round 4 strokes gained field differential, so you can also see, like a Brooks Koepka in round 4, Patrick Cantlay in round 4. Like, these are pretty good identifiers to maybe get a guy off early. Like Patrick Cantlay's going off at 1042. Really good final round scoring, field differential, and green regulation has been fluttering around 72%. So not awful, but we can take it. Yeah, Ricky's been super consistent. I like that quite a bit. Cantlay's driving accuracy is awful, yes. Still better than Spieth, though. Like I said, there's a fine line with strict driving accuracy on this golf course. Like, if he misses it into some fescue, it's not the worst. Like, he could literally run through the fairway, and obviously it's not counting for driving accuracy, or it won't count as a fairway hit. So there's, I think Spieth is accurate. I mean, you could watch him play and tell he's driving it terrible. I didn't get to see a lot of Cantlay, so I'm not really sure what he looked like with the driver. But again, it's the greener regulation number to me. That's why I kind of harp on that during podcasts and stuff, because in the end, or like in absolute, like in a vacuum, the purpose of a golf hole is for a guy to hit it on the green regulation. Like, do they want to hit it close? Yes. That's where I brought up the whole proximity thing a while back. But like, a green regulation is literally the goal on every single hole. So if he misses a fairway and hits it on the green, like, I'll take that green. I think I wouldn't say it's a missing piece from golf data, but like, there's so many golf shots where people, like, we're measuring to a spot where we don't know where they're trying to hit it to. I mean, there's 230-yard par 3s, and guys are trying to hit it 25 feet left. They're not going at the pin. Relative to the field, it's probably good. But if you're just looking at overall proximity, that's where it starts getting knocked down, and that's not a good way to look at it. Where's Rosie gaining strokes? We can look at Rose. Did he make it in this list? Rosie did not make it in this list. Let's go find him. I do. Justin Rose. making a lot of putts. Sorry, I lost the highlight. Round 1, round 2, round 3, green regulation's not been the best. Very unlike Justin Rose. I think that's pretty much been his season, though. Like, he's had some good weeks, but overall he's been more inconsistent this season than he has in last year, the year before. So just kind of eyeballing this a little bit. Bogey avoidance is still good. I think he's just not hitting the ball that well. Like, these guys, it's amazing bogey avoidance for these guys is how good they are around the greens. We'll look at like Justin Harding, Paul Casey. I don't know why he sucks, but like 11%. All these guys had bogey-free rounds. Like at a major, man, that's crazy. So back to the Justin Rose points, since I got sidetracked on amazing bogey avoidance. Yeah, just not making a lot of birdies. 22%, 16% birdie or better rate. You can see how that compares to like Shane Lowry, who's just been blitzing the field. But like Fleetwood, 33%, 27.7%, 26%. So he's just not making a ton of birdies. He's avoiding the bogeys, but I can't pay for that. How bad is his putting though? Yeah. It's not awful. Like it's not like, I mean, his green regulation number is the reason why he's not making a ton of birdies. He's missing some greens and getting up and down, but you can see like his putts per green regulation number isn't really that bad. He's just not hitting enough greens to have birdie opportunities. So, how did Putnam putt? No Putnam. Here's Putnam. Putnam's putting fine. 1.5 putts per green regulation. Green regulation number dipped a bit, so I think he's still fine. Like, he's been playing well for a while. Bogey avoidance is good. 11%, 0, 11%. And then birdie or better is just nothing. He's making no birdies. I mean, he's one of the worst at birdies. Patrick Reed today couldn't make anything, but yeah. And neither did Webb. But yeah, he's just not making any birdies. Inamori, Fox, or Redman. Let's take a filter look at them and we'll compare them side by side. Inamori, Fox. What the heck is... Oh, there's Doc. And then Ryan. Alrighty. So these three here, from a, let's see, strokes gained field differential. We don't have a ton of rounds on, obviously, Doc Redman. Yuki Inamori, I'm sure most people didn't even know he was playing golf. He was a golfer until this week. I didn't. Ryan Fox, 26 rounds. So not a big discrepancy in round 4, strokes gained field differential, so nothing to go off there. Birdie or better, definitely Ryan Fox had a big round 1, but then most consistent has been Doc. We'll look through some of his macro or micro stats, I guess. So you can see the difference there, why they're not playing as well as the other guys. The bogey avoidance is so high. But driving accuracy and green regulation would be my main kind of key measures, I guess, for them. So this is round 3 and round 2 driving accuracy for both of them, for all 3 of them. Definitely Doc has been most consistent, but Yuki's actually been kind of sneaky, like 80%, 65%. But he's not very long though. That's generally how the Korean or Japanese tour players do it. They don't play on really long golf courses. They just got to keep it in play. But then Doc sucks hitting greens. So I don't know. Like, if you're asking for one out of this group, dude, I would probably take Yuki and take the... It's not a lot of savings, but try to use the savings to pay up for somebody that maybe in a separate lineup. But, I mean, these guys have played terrible these last 2 days. And Yuki's actually been somewhat consistent, just putting awful. He literally made nothing in round 2. So, It's still an unknown between. I mean, no one knows about Yuki. Statistically speaking, Doc's still fresh, his first major. But yeah, I would probably go Yuki, and he's going to be lower owned because people probably don't know who he is and aren't seeing the stats laid out like this, paired up together. Is he short? I mean, I can only assume he's short. All right. What else we got? Running good on time, so that's nice. Let me check a couple things. Lingasque, yes. Let's check out Lingasque. How far down is he? Pretty far down. Let me just filter on him. Is there anyone else in that someone brought up? Ass, Face, Reed, and Webb killing my main. Woo! H3 Buddha gifted 5 tier 1 subs. Wow, appreciate it, man. I gotta blow this up. That's pretty cool. I didn't even know they had that animation. So, Mike, thanks, man. I didn't even know you were in the chat. Appreciate it, dude. So you sent that to Down South legend Johnny Nooms, Orange Man 96, Skyhoke, and Mauer Springer. So, again, thanks, Mike. If you guys got a gifted sub, be sure to send a thank you to Mike for that. And if you guys don't know already, you can use your Amazon Prime for a free subscription, which helps the show, helps Fantasy Golf Bag, etc. So you can definitely do that. And it's included with your Amazon Prime, so it goes right to Twitch and it costs nothing. So that's always nice. Back to Langasque. But Mike, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Hope your MMA is going good tonight. All right. So Romain Langasque. Just want to see where he's at. So not awful. He's actually got a decent round 4 strokes gained field differential. Not a ton of rounds. I mean, it's not going to be as many rounds as like a Brooks Koepka or a Patrick Cantlay. Brooks Koepka is probably a bad example. Oh boy. Thanks, Cynical Peasant. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for the Prime subscription. So yeah, Romain Langasque. Let's check his numbers out. Driving accuracy is Spieth-like, 50%, 42%, 57%. Green regulation numbers have been all over the place. So it's really hard for me to trust someone like that. Again, like the Yuki Inamura, like I would feel somewhat comfortable. Orange Man, if you're a Prime member, then oh, you just got a gifted sub. Never mind. Yeah, I would have a tough time trusting that. It was, again, if you're looking at one round, it's just not a ton of data. It's definitely nice having it to say, hey, this guy's been driving it poorly every round, or see maybe a trend. And his green regulation number really popped this last, today. But again, Yuki Inamori, like his numbers have been pretty stable. He's just been putting awful. Like that would be a guy I'm not afraid to go down to in salary or for salary savings. He's been pretty steady across the board, and I would feel much more comfortable going there. He didn't putt very well today, but he didn't really. I guess he hit more greens today than the last 2 days, but yeah, I wouldn't play any Romain. Again, he had a good round today, but even his birdie or better, he's only gotten to 22% twice. Bogey avoidance is not that great. And again, he hasn't been driving it well. That was his first round over like 50% green regulation, right? 67% green regulation. So no thanks. biggest fave on the card lost, so that's probably why you're here, man. Maurer Springer, greetings from Germany. Thanks for tuning in, man. Yeah, we got to get some emotes, Buddha. Kisner, Terrell Hatton, and Fratelli. I will pull it up. Starting to buffer, sorry. It should flatten out. CH Dallas. All right, so let me pull up Mr. Kevin Kisner, Terrell Hatton. If it gets real bad, Dallas, let me know. But it may hit like little spurts, but it should be okay. And then Fratelli. I think I've already looked at Fratelli, and he looked terrible. I think we looked at him right off the top of the show. Yeah. So, yeah, Terrell Hatton looks good. Kevin Kisner looks good. Yuki driving distance average is 265. And that's tough to get behind, but he's still hitting 70, 80% green regulation, so his proximity is probably awful. So Dylan Fratelli, let's just look at their placement real quick. Got a 3-stroke lead, 4-stroke lead over Kisner. Round 4 strokes gain field differential. We actually have a decent sample. Terrell Hatton is gaining 1 stroke on the field in round 4. Fratelli is half, and then Kisner's losing a stroke, which is really interesting. I honestly thought Kisner would be, just because he's been on tour for so long, he's been a really good player for a while, like steady, just not a ton of wins until his last probably 2 or 3 years. That's really interesting. So, like, right off the bat, I would say Terrell Hatton, and then you would just kind of check the stats a little bit to back up your theory. I know for a fact that I'm not going to play any Fratelli just because he dropped quite a bit the last 2 rounds. But yeah, Terrell Hatton, 77% green regulation, 72% green regulation in round 2, and then 83% in round 3. So yeah, I definitely like Hatton. I wouldn't be afraid to have some Kisner. He's 7,400. I liked them at the start of the week for the British Open, or the Open. But man, the strokes gained field differential for round 4 looks, I'd be kicking myself if I played him in a good lineup and he was my one guy out of 6 that played poorly. And then I would have the old I told you so from Skylar probably, because I begged him to put that stat into the sheet for us. So yeah, I would definitely go Hatton there. Down South legend. Putts per green regulation, even better. Terrell Hatton, 1.8 today, 1.6, 1.7. So not great. Driving accuracy looks good. Terrell Hatton probably so far my favorite play on the board, I would guess. I'm excited for him to break some clubs while I roster him, but besides that, I like him quite a bit. I think that is CH Dallas. If you're missing stuff, I'm sure it'll play back okay. I don't know if anyone else is buffering or if it may just be the connection. But it'll be back on replay and it'll probably be fine. But I can always recap in our chat because I know you're a premium member, so we can talk through it if we need to. Knox, F. Streelman, yeah, F. Streelman. Also F. Furyk, because I think I had Furyk in that one good FanDuel lineup, and he was like, I don't know what he ended up shooting, but he was like +3 through like 5 holes or something like that. Let's go check it out. Furyk, you shot +4 today, terrific. Dustin Johnson is in that lineup, and he shot +1. Let's go look at Dustin Johnson, though. Like, he would be one of the few that I would be willing to pay a premium for that isn't necessarily right by the lead. There's actually a couple. So let's just sort by salary. I'm already sorted by salary. We have Xander. Sorry, I'm not sorted by salary. So DJ, Xander is another one. Can't do it. Then Dustin gains two strokes on the field in round 4. Let's look through his numbers real quick. He had a drop in birdie or better, but he actually, I mean, in round 2, 33% is a ton. Bogey avoidance, not the best, so like that's probably why he played so bad today. Like today probably was one of the worst rounds he shot in a long time. So I would be okay paying a premium for that. He goes off 2 hours earlier than the leaders, 2.5 hours. Do I think he can, sneak in and really get close to the lead? Probably not, unless they start falling back. But DJ can be dangerous. I mean, he could just have nothing to lose, go out tomorrow and make a couple eagles, have 5 or 6 birdies, and all of a sudden he's got one of those stupid rounds in a major that ends up winning him a major. No one even talked about him on Saturday night. So DJ's okay. I would be all right with that. And then the other one was Xander. So Xander's 9,200. He'll probably be pretty popular as well. If we look through, so like his last 2 rounds, shot 65, 69. Birdie or better has been really consistent. 16% round 1 was his worst of the week. 27%, then 22%, pretty good. And then if we look through his green regulation numbers, we got terrible round 1. I don't know what was going on. Then 94% and 89%. So yeah, Xander, like if I'm trying to save some salary, even be unique a little bit, go get a freaking Yuki and a Seng Young or whatever, and pair 2 of these guys that aren't really right next to the lead. Like Xander, honestly, is like a value. I see him as a value at 9,200 for how he's playing. We know how he does in majors. Let's see what his round 4 strokes gained field differential is. 0.5. So like not that great, but I'm still willing to take a shot on him. Again, that's historical. That can always change in round 4s, obviously. But yeah, the DJ call, I like that quite a bit. 9,800. Interesting. Well, rooting for you there, Maurer. 251-1 on Lowry and each way. It's possible. I don't know. It just depends on how he handles it. He's obviously playing great, like unreal great. 30% birdie or better every single round. 45% today. I mean, just went on a tear. The only thing that concerns me for him is his driving accuracy today. Like, he still hit enough greens, but if you watch the coverage, a couple of those drives should have been worse than where they ended up. And we all know links golf. Like, if you hit a few bad drives, you're really, it's very iffy on where it ends up. It could end up in a freaking hole or in not a burrowing animal hole, but in a hole next to, a pop bunker or something like that, and you got a terrible lie, have to chip out sideways or something. But that'd be my only concern. He's playing great. I don't see why he can't continue, but it is a lot of pressure. So we'll see. Rooting for you for sure. You need X to shoot a 63 tomorrow. And DK Drafter, how's his new driver? It's doing fine. Round 1, I think he was getting used to it and did better in round 2, and round 3 was pretty good. So yeah, Xander's playing well right now. Really well. Let's see. Yeah, DJ killed me today too, DK. Drafter. Crack Drafter. Man, those are the 2 guys that were playing well, and then they just did nothing. But I'm okay taking a shot on it. I mean, I pulled these odds 50-1 right now, or is that right? 500-1. Unless I pulled it wrong. Let's go check that out real quick. DJ is 500. DJ is what? He's 500-1 right now. Skylar, talk me off of this. He's 10 shots. Like, if Lowry goes backwards, Fleetwood doesn't do much. Man. 500 to 1? Dude. We've seen crazier things happen in the Open. Oh my gosh. Dude, they really have a lot of confidence in Lowry, though. Like, even, like, minus 200 for him still. But if you go down the board, I mean, it drops off quick. Like, John Rahm is 66 to 1. Like, huh. Yeah. In the British Open, though, if they get the weather like they're saying, I mean, he can make 2 triples right off the bat, and all of a sudden, DJ already shot 4 under, 5 under on the front, and he's right back in play. I'll take a stab on that. All right. Any other questions through here? Again, of course, you could pull these stats. I have the Showdown model up. We can take a peek at. I don't really want to take a peek at Barbasol, but it's ugly. Real quick, let's take a peek at the bottom of the salary, and then we'll wrap it up, and then we'll do a raid. Again, appreciate all you guys. Yeah, we're gonna do a raid, man. Buddha. All right, so let's see. Anybody that just stands out up here? Yuki, we talked about. Tom Lewis, we talked about. Mikko Korhonen is kind of interesting. He's 6,300. Trending up. I mean, it's not like he's been bad, but he didn't like go up and down. Bogey avoidance is still okay. Like, so minimizing bogeys, not making a ton of birdies. He might be okay for another salary saver if you're looking elsewhere. Again, I think we hit on the main ones as far as Tom Lewis, Yuki, Inamori, and was that it? I think that was it. So Paul Waring, no, like you don't see that very often. Driving accuracy over 80%, but the green regulation number's down. That doesn't happen very, very often on the PGA Tour and majors. Streelman, man. So the glove, we can look at the Glover. Do the Glover, we'll do 2 giveaways, and then we'll do 1 giveaway since we're giving out the wedge again tomorrow. Sorry, not Tom Lewis, Lucas Glover. And then we'll go raid somebody, Orange Man. 7,200 for Lucas. Don't know why you can't get up and down, but yeah, green regulation numbers look steady. Round 1 was a disaster, but he hung in there fine. I wouldn't worry about that. That looks pretty consistent, 83%, 78%. And then driving accuracy has been good. Not making any putts. So yeah, I like that call quite a bit. 10:32 a.m. Birdie or better. It's actually better today. And he only shot 71. So yeah, I can get behind some Lucas Glover. 7,200 as well. It's pretty cheap. Yeah, that looks good. Eddie Hangover Sunday. Let's check it out. Man. Eddie Pepperell. Let's see. Not looking good. Wow. What's his deal? I think I played him on the full week slate too. What? So he hit So he only hit 67% of his greens in round 1. But he had 30% birdie or better rate. It's impressive. Yeah, I don't see it, Sky. He could certainly be hungover, though. Maybe that's his secret, but that's awful. I mean, that's like the opposite of what you want, unless you want him to be low owned, which I guess you could go that route, but no. No, they're already on the website, Dallas. If you go to the Fantasy Jesus stats or the Euro rolling stats, they're on both sides. Yeah, that's terrible. I mean, honestly, for as bad as that is, 76 today is not good, but like 70, 72, kudos to him for making the cut. I can't imagine where his head's at. That's sad to say his best round was round 1. Graham McDowell. All right, we'll do 2 more. I see Notorious asked about Shinkwin. We can look at him real quick. I'll do Shinkwin and Graham McDowell. And then we'll go do 1 giveaway, and then we'll go raid some poor person. It needs to be a not a follower only chat. Shinkwin. And then, who was it? Graham McDowell. Not Furyk, I hate you. But I'm going to look at you anyways. So Shinkwin on top, McDowell on the bottom. Green regulation for McDowell's been really good. Driving accuracy, a lot like Shane Lowry, not very good at all. But green regulation numbers up there. Let's see there. Yeah. I mean, for one, Shinkwin and Furyk, I mean, I wouldn't play Furyk anyways, I just brought him up, but Shinkwin and Furyk are so far back. They neither have been playing very well the last 2 rounds, so I wouldn't play them anyway, so disregard just for me pulling them up. But I did see Notorious asked about Shinkwin. It's not very good. He had that 1 round 2 that was good, round 1, round 3, both under 61% green regulation. Not great. And then, I mean, Furyk had a chance, I think, today to play okay and just didn't. So I'll pass on him again. But yeah, McDowell, I think, is all right. He's so 78, 72, 83%. Driving accuracy isn't the best, but yeah, of all the people, as weird as it sounds, you know, if Lowry's in contention to win, I have to imagine that does good for like the mental aspect of McDowell. You know, it kind of keeps his head off of himself, I think, a little bit. He's not really in a position to win. I think if he goes off and starts off really hot, maybe it gets into his head a bit. But honestly, I think he's in a position where he could tee off tomorrow and he's playing, but his mind's kind of elsewhere. That's one of the old sayings with professional golfers. Like, you're out there for, we'll say, 4.5 hours, but you're really only hitting golf shots for like a minute and 45 seconds. So like all the other time in the 4.5 hours, you're thinking of stuff. And if it can be positive and not worried about you playing, that's a good thing. Ro Holman, thanks for the follow, man. Appreciate it. So I do think, yeah, McDowell looks good. I think the whole Lowry situation actually benefits him to a degree. Kind of keeps his mind off of his own game and lets him just go play. And he's always thinking about, man, I hope, you know, my buddy Shane Lowry is going to play well or something like that. And as corny as it sounds, man, we've seen the best rounds come from like Kevin Na after a freaking neck injury because he's not worried about playing. He's not worried about like scoring. He's just trying to just play. It's ridiculous. Ro Holman, thanks for the subscription, man. Appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Benny on. That's not the real no-no, Orange Man. Benny on. I'll check that real quick, and then we'll wrap it up with a giveaway, and then we'll go straight to a raid and take care of it. Take care of we need something to laugh at as we build these lineups. I think Ben on looked really good, if I'm not mistaken. Scrappy Gaming HQ, thanks, man, for the follow. So yeah, Ben on. We got So when I looked at Ben on earlier, wasn't so concerned with the driving accuracy. Again, we're seeing like Lowry play okay. We just saw McDowell driving numbers are not great, and even Spieth to a degree, his driving accuracy numbers haven't been great. But green regulation has been good. And looking through these numbers with Ben on, the irons have been fine, pretty steady. The putting has been what we're used to seeing with him, and he's playing fine. So he's making some birdies. Bogey avoidance is probably can come down a bit. But yeah, I think Ben On's fine. 7,200 for him. Yeah, I'd be fine playing some Ben On tomorrow. All right, let's run to some giveaways. Again, you can find all those stats at fantasygolfbag.com, and you can try them for the open promo. So open stats 19 is the promo code. You can try them for $1.99. Since we're apparently the only company that is offering accurate data for the open, which is nice. So a big advantage in showdowns tomorrow using this stuff. How can these cheap guys compete with placement points? It just depends on what they score versus what the guys at the top score. So like what we talked about early on in the show was they're going to get, actually let me go ahead and pull that up. So we're not going to do a giveaway yet. Let me pull up Win Finder. That'll be the last thing, and then we'll hit the giveaway and then the raid. So the issue with the weather, and I'll pull it up to confirm, these guys teeing off early, not that we expect them to shoot 5, 6, 7 under par or something crazy, but there is an opportunity for the late guys to get a ton of bad weather that they don't go forward, they actually fall backwards or at least stay stale. The placement points aren't going to be as valuable as the guys that teed off earlier that can make a couple birdies. So like even today, Shane Lowry, had 7, 8 birdies, something like that. I mean, that's really valuable in showdowns, probably more so than if Shane shoots +2 and wins the tournament. I would rather have maybe Ben On's a bad example, but I think Lucas Glover we brought up, he could certainly, make a climb with some birdies, and then he'll outscore someone with placement points. So looks like, yeah, I got it pulled up. So as you can see, again, 7 a.m. to don't really worry about the gusts. I mean, they'll put the gusts on here. I think the concern in the early afternoon, 35 mile per hour gusts is a lot different than 20, 21 mile per hour gusts. But like, think of it as a pretty 13 mile per hour sustained. Really isn't that bad for Northern Ireland, right on the coast. That's nothing. 21% is getting there, and then when you see the gusts hitting that, 35, 36, 38 miles per hour, man, that's nuts. So I don't think they'll be out playing when the rain hits. They shouldn't. I see the little rain here, but I don't think it's enough to really worry about it. But yeah, if you get guys teeing off, we'll say 9, 10 o'clock, I think that's probably about as far back as I would go. They get, 4 hours before the leaders tee off at 1:45, something like that. So, yeah. Yeah, birdies are worth a lot. I think that's why people have a mistake. It's tough in low scoring events anyways with, weighing placement points, but people will stack literally the top 10. They'll get 6 guys in the top 10, and if you get that one or two guys early on that shot 4 or 5 under, the leaders don't do anything. You're way ahead. And those guys in the lead, like Shane Lowry, Tommy Fleetwood tomorrow, they're going to be 30 to 40% owned for sure in the big GPP. So let's go ahead now to the giveaways, and then we'll go find a raid. Not find a raid, let's go create a raid. So yeah, let me spin this wheel. And again, the shirts are, we got the army green, so we'll see what this one is. So it'll be the red one. So it'll be this red t-shirt logo. Thought I had the blue one, but it doesn't matter because the red one. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is hit a keyword. And the keyword you're going to enter to be eligible to win this is, we'll just do Rory because Rory missed the cut. I can't think of anything else. Go through this whole show and just shake my balls. So Rory is the keyword. So type in Rory, and I'll run the bot. We'll see if we can pick a winner for the red Fantasy Golf Bag t-shirt. Let's see. Sorry, I'm entering that for something else. Mike, what's going on, man? Why you interrupting the chat? Oh, oh man, I was gonna tweet this out, but like I still don't really know what the audience is. Like I thought it was hilarious. But it was a something on Instagram, I think, and it had Rory, and it was it said it was him dropping his ball in the rough or something like that, and it was like, man gets railed hard at homecoming, and it was on a Pornhub website. Oh my gosh, I about died. Like, who? Freaking Rory shoots 78. Dude, I should have just tweeted it out. It was so funny. All right, let me spin this thing. Here we go. Internet is fast. CH Dallas, man, you're complaining about the red t-shirt or the internet, and then you win. There you go, man. Congrats. All right, so let me go find this. I'll make sure I'll run through the spiel for signing off. But again, hopefully you stay on here and join us with the raid. Basically, what Twitch does, if you're new, it allows you to hop in someone else's channel. So obviously we're doing a DFS golf show, and most people on here are doing Fortnite or video games or whatever. So what we're going to do is find one. Let's see. Find one that doesn't have a ton of viewers. We're going to hop into it and essentially raid the chat. You can talk about whatever. Like the last one we did on Wednesday was hilarious because the guy didn't know why we were arguing about golf. It was great. So I'll pull it up and we can start looking through it, and then I'll give the spiel to Solar Bank. We can't do the same guy again. Maybe if we just come across him one day, we have plenty of time, we'll go hit him again. But all right, so live channel, that's fine. What do I want to do? Is it sorted by viewers? Yeah. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to hop all the way down to the bottom. Mike, you're going to enjoy this. You missed the one on Wednesday. This girl's doing blitz squads with the one-shot girl. This guy. Oh, man. There's a lot of opportunities here. 53 people. Let's get it down a little bit more. Is this guy? There you go. This is just for you, Orange Man. Oh, it's mature audiences. Okay. All right, hang on. They got to run an ad. Let's see if this is it. It doesn't say it's a follower-only chat, so you guys should be able to hop in and chat away. All right, let's see what the deal is here. She's not even here. Can't do it. I don't know what she's doing. Wait. All right, let's find another one. Did I click it?
On God, where's fucking Tinny fucking low drop, dude? I'm about to fucking hide this kid and have him teach me how to fucking drop, dude.
That's not what I wanted. This guy's got 40,000 people watching him.
Get ass, bro.
Wow. All right, next one we'll get. It'll be the final one. Can't be scrolling around forever. Let's see. Need a good one. Like this guy, 54 people. Could be this guy, guys. He's followers only chat, of course. That would have been the guy. Looks like Eddie Pepperell. Is Skylar still here? Dude, that's Eddie Pepperell. I was going to speak English. All right. Third time's the charm. Here we go. Here we go. This guy. It's Tifu. He's a giant douche. Apparently. All right. Who is on? 30 people. This guy. Is this guy? You want left or right? I got or this guy. No. All right. Let's say this guy or this guy if they're not follower only. Left? All right, we'll do left. Oh yeah. He's all right, we'll do this one. Do the same dude as Wednesday? I don't think he has a chat, man. And I don't want to do the same dude as Wednesday. I want to do this guy. All right, let me get the raid set up. Yeah, it's English. It's real faint. Yeah, it's English. He's very, very white. Yeah, this will be a good one. All right, let's see. He's very, very white. He sounds very, very white. All right, guys, we are going to raid this guy named Sai, I think his name is. Be respectful again, Orange Man. You can do whatever you want, man. You could go say F you to whatever. F you, Patrick, Assface, Reed. So, again, guys, appreciate you tuning into the Fantasy Golf Bag live stream. Again, we have, let's see, podcasts. We had 2 podcasts last week, live stream, and then another live stream. So, plenty of content to check next week as we continue down this road to the FedEx Cup playoffs. If you ever have any questions, you can find me on Twitter at RedKachik, and you can find the Fantasy Golf Bag primary handle. You can follow at Fantasy Golf Bag on Twitter. So I'm going to go and hit the raid button, guys. Enjoy, and good luck in your contest tomorrow. See ya.